Hello guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. It's Tana Media with Big Brother Naija updates. So everybody, you guys have seen everybody talking about PHYNA and groovy issues. So I'm gonna give you a detailed insight on all that happened or how they got there. So meanwhile, before we get there, Adekunle is saying I'm starting to feel like I like her, but I know for sure I don't. He's talking about Rachel to Diana, okay? So he says there are too many differences and they argue a lot, and he knows the feeling he has at the moment is because of this house, because outside this house that the feelings won't progress. It's a very intelligent thing to know that most things don't progress after the house. So Diana to Adekunle, you still want Alison, stop denying it. I can see the pains in your eyes. Adekunle loves Alison that much. Okay, that's our ship as there, the ship that is about to, bring down, crumble. So they had their tax yesterday. After this tax, the drama started. Okay, PHYNA was doing her hyping work. No be to chop winch normally. You fit fly go better place. And the meant wey groovy cure for PHYNA body don return. And you guys notice that PHYNA has been calm since this ship. It's not the PHYNA, the hype PHYNA that people used to know. Okay, members of PHYNA Nation must be super glad to have their PHYNA vibe on display tonight. The vibe is powered by, so PHYNA's hype was powered by assistant hype man in the person of Philo Swag, a band in Brian and Giddy Fire, and a strifa in Chichi. So after they had this tax, PHYNA actually said something that triggered Groovy. And Groovy feels or felt because PHYNA was drunk, and that was why. Okay, so PHYNA said, if I get serious boyfriend, that was the statement, if I get serious boyfriend. And Chizzy is like, waiting be Groovy. So Chizzy, I know you will be part of the end of this ship. And housemate says Groovy is not serious with a question mark. Now, PHYNA, I'm beginning to think PHYNA believes that this is all a game, and Groovy thinks PHYNA doesn't know it's a game. Me, I don't know. I can't just say again. Is Groovy saying he's seriously PHYNA's boyfriend or what? So now let's go down to what happened, sha. Groovy's fan may be going through a lot soon, while Groovers and PHYNA Nation would be sitting back chewing their popcorn and enjoying the show. Yes, for the first time on Big Brother Naija, we have a ship, Groovy, and PHYNA, whose individual fan bases are not shippers. True, PHYNA fans we're so glad to see their girl PHYNA back in her element yesterday. I told you about the hyping she did. However, those happy vibes PHYNA was dishing were brought on by PHYNA's unlimited access to alcohol. So this is the point that I feel like people should assess very well. You want PHYNA to be the PHYNA, but if she's not drunk, she's not that PHYNA. Are you saying that PHYNA has to be drunk all her life? So that is why I don't 100% like blame Groovy. For the longest time, PHYNA's fans have been bothered that their girl was becoming too calm, because that's not the reason they fell in love with her and made her their fave. When PHYNA got with Groovy, Groovy sought to help her curb her drinking as he considered it excessive, which is true. PHYNA can drink for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It is who she is, and she has never really cared to be any different to Groovy. Groovy believed that there is a better way. He says when PHYNA is high, she can hurt herself and he has to look out for her. So we both of us, we agree that this is not right, okay? So PHYNA got into the house, took off her wig and down 5 bottles of Guinness. Like, the housemates were looking at that like, oh shey, what's up? Okay, Groovy believed that there are a better way. He says that when PHYNA is high, she can hurt herself and he looks out for her. So they came to an agreement that if PHYNA is going to drink, then he has to be in the know and sign it off first. Okay, so after they agreed on this, but as PHYNA's fans know and like, I always say, Groovy makes the rules, but PHYNA was born to break these rules. So PHYNA made a unilateral decision to get back to her drinking regimen without recourse to Groovy's opinion on the matter. Okay, Groovy tries to tell her that she is breaking a vital rule of their relationship. So guys, look at it this way. This guy is looking out for PHYNA. Regardless, say we know we don't want the ship. And remember, there's how you will be close to someone, you start falling in love with the person. That PHYNA hasn't been drinking alcohol for some time and remaining herself. She used to say, na groovy, they calm me down, or they sell craze on a normal day and all that. We want all those bad booze, but guys, you can't be always, okay? He reminds her that she fell in the bathroom and hurt herself the other day because she was high, okay? He said he worries for her and has to look out for her when she's high. He says her drinking reminds him of some traits in Beauty, why Beauty drank and got violent with others. PHYNA drinks and hurts herself. So this was the point where the comparison came in, and PHYNA didn't have it at all. PHYNA drinks and hurts herself, and Beauty drinks and gets violent, comparing both of them. He said she embarrassed him today when she was high with certain pronouncements she made about their relationship in front of the housemates, which was what I showed you earlier. I mean, she said when she gets serious boyfriend. But PHYNA is not interested in all this capping and yarnings, because when you get serious boyfriend, Groovy is wondering, are we not supposed to be in a relationship? What am I to you? And Groovy feels it's because she was drunk. PHYNA doesn't want to be censored. She doesn't want her drink controlled. She says that drinking is part of her. She always has a drink in her hand. It is who she is, and it is normal for her. Groovy, who finds it abnormal, and she has no intention of changing that for Groovy. She is pissed that Groovy compared her to Beauty. She is upset that he says that she embarrassed him when she was high earlier today. I seem to think that those two statements have blocked any hope of Groovy getting through her rationally. PHYNA is angry. You said I embarrassed you and you're comparing me to your ex. How dare you do that? These are the things that are getting PHYNA angry. But looking at the whole circumstances surrounding Groovy's statement, do you guys think Groovy is all in the wrong? Because I don't really think so. She has asked Groovy to feel free to end the relationship and take a walk if he cannot deal with who she is, because she will not change for him. I seems to understand Groovy. If PHYNA gets high and hurts herself in the process, then she really needs to control her drinking. Groovy mentioned an episode where she fell in the bathroom because she was high, and that is dangerous. If PHYNA really does have a tendency to lose control to the point of hurting herself when high, then it is the duty of her partner Groovy to care for her, and part of looking out for her is helping her control alcohol intake. For all these social media warlords, Twitter warlords saying yene, if you look at the truth, if you want to critically look at the truth, you see that Groovy has always been a gentleman and he did nothing wrong in this case. They just both will need to understand themselves, but if he can't walk, they can part ways. I also understand why Groovy is highlighting his issues with Beauty. It was barely a few weeks ago Beauty got disqualified from acting violently due to excessive anger and irrational behavior powered by alcohol abuse too. Groovy is traumatized. He doesn't want to see that happen yet again with another woman he's with on this show. Plus, merely seeing PHYNA high and out of control would invariably bring up bitter memories of Beauty, which is most definitely a trigger for him. That said, I understand PHYNA as well. Now, PHYNA says outside the house, you can't see her without a bottle. It's not even something to be proud of, me and you know. But then again, we fall in love and we make compromises for our partners, okay? Unless, like we say, it's still a game. But in the context of being a game, they see themselves like it's like an illusion that they are in a real ship. So that means real things have to apply. She is who she is, and if she is happy with her life as it is, then she doesn't want to be stifled by Groovy or a relationship. She did rather have a man who loves her for her vibes and would be happy to share a drink with her at any time of the day. She probably is not feeling herself as she would without alcohol, and like she said, it had to deal with the challenges in Big Brother house completely sober. She understands herself and she understands that the role alcohol plays in her life in a show like this. Okay, she needs the buzz that alcohol gives her to be able to portray the personality that endears her to her fans on this show. A lot of PHYNA's fans find sober PHYNA boring. They do not appreciate the cool and calm personality that you see PHYNA when she's not drunk, and it's not good. You guys just like this for the show. You guys know there are dangers associated with alcohol for her health and all. I don't know who Fina is going to date outside the house that wants the girlfriend to drink like every other day. She's going to get pregnant one day, and if she can't control her excessive drinking, I mean, pregnant women are not supposed to drink. Do you get? So Fina's fans do not appreciate the cool and calm personality that Fina's interaction with Groovy generates. They didn't subscribe to Big Brother Naija show to watch Love and Light. They want Fina, Baz, Bose vibes. Furthermore, regardless of how valid a person's point is, no woman wants to be compared to any man's ex. The point becomes meaningless the moment you take that route. And though Groovy has a valid reason for that comparison and has apologized several times for making said comparison, he cannot take those words back, and Fina is not willing to overlook them. Wow. Whatever it is, I hope they can come to a compromise. But for me, Fina needs to cut down on the drinking part. If that is what Groovy wants, that is if Fina wants the relationship. That's the truth. I think both parties are valid in their positions, and to that end, I agree with both parties in this case. Nevertheless, they could have come to an understanding if Fina is willing to meet Groovy halfway. But what Fina did instead was to stonewall Groovy and push him away. Perhaps she has had enough of Groovy's ship, or the alcohol in her system is still doing the talking. So we wait for this morning to see how things are. We've seen them trying to talk. Alcohol needed to leave her system, so we know that if she's talking, that it's Fina that is talking for herself. But guys, this is what I think about this whole Groovy and Fina issue. For those who have brought out their sword to crucify Groovy, he's not doing anything wrong. And the only mistake he made is the way he went about it. The comparison part is what triggers Fina. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe. Okay guys, bye bye.